made lurid and false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia.
At first, it appeared to be another chapter in the long-running dispute between Meghan Markle and Buckingham Palace. Yet behind the headlines, a far more unsettling question began to emerge. Why did Prince William suddenly take such a firm position? And what development convinced royal observers that this confrontation had entered an entirely different phase? For years, public discussions surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have often centered on interviews, media appearances, royal titles, and the ongoing debate over the future relationship between the Sussex household and the wider royal family. Yet according to the dramatic claims presented in this storyline, a moment arrived when tensions reportedly moved beyond public disagreements and into something far more consequential. What began as a dispute over status and recognition allegedly evolved into a direct confrontation over authority, influence, and the future direction of the monarchy itself. The turning point, according to this narrative, came when Prince William, the future king, was said to have approved an uncompromising response to requests connected to Meghan Markle's anticipated return to Britain. Rather than granting additional ceremonial accommodations, Buckingham Palace allegedly chose a different path entirely. Reports within the storyline suggest that requests involving enhanced privileges, special arrangements, and formal recognition were firmly rejected, sending a powerful signal that the rules governing the modern monarchy would apply equally regardless of past titles or personal expectations. For many observers following the royal saga, the decision immediately raised a larger question. Was Prince William merely responding to a specific situation, or was Prince William beginning to establish the framework of a future reign defined by stricter boundaries and greater accountability? That question quickly fueled intense discussion because the symbolism extended far beyond a single administrative decision. Throughout royal history, ceremonial privileges have often carried meaning far greater than their practical value. They communicate standing, influence, and institutional support. Consequently, when such privileges become the subject of dispute, the conversation inevitably shifts toward questions of legitimacy and authority. Royal commentators began examining whether this alleged decision represented a message not only to Meghan Markle but also to the public, demonstrating how Prince William intends to balance tradition with a changing public expectation of service and duty. Yet if Buckingham Palace believed the controversy would quietly fade away, the storyline suggests exactly the opposite occurred. According to the account, Meghan Markle viewed the rejection as something deeply personal rather than merely procedural. Instead of retreating from public attention, Meghan Markle reportedly chose to respond in a way that immediately intensified the conflict. Public statements attributed to Meghan Markle projected determination and resistance, creating the impression that the dispute was no longer simply about protocol. It was becoming a struggle over identity, reputation, and public perception. What made the situation particularly fascinating for royal watchers was the contrast between the two approaches. On one side stood Prince William, portrayed as emphasizing institutional discipline and royal duty. On the other stood Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, portrayed as defending personal influence and independence. Whether viewers agree with either side or not, the contrast created a compelling narrative because it reflected two fundamentally different visions of power. Is influence derived from service to an institution, or can influence exist independently through personal branding and public visibility? As media attention intensified, another development reportedly emerged that complicated matters further. Meghan Markle allegedly announced plans connected to a growing commercial venture that would place royal imagery and symbolism much closer to public view. According to the storyline, this strategy was intended to reinforce visibility and maintain public relevance at a moment when institutional support appeared increasingly uncertain. However, instead of generating widespread enthusiasm, the move allegedly sparked criticism from commentators who questioned whether royal associations should be linked so directly to commercial activities. Suddenly, the discussion shifted once again. The debate was no longer focused solely on Prince William or Meghan Markle. It expanded into a broader conversation about the value of royal titles themselves. What exactly do those titles represent in the modern era? Are they lifelong assets that can be leveraged in different ways, or are they inseparable from active service within the royal family? That question resonated deeply among audiences in Britain, the United States, Canada, and beyond because it touched on one of the oldest tensions surrounding monarchy, the balance between privilege and responsibility. Meanwhile, Prince Harry's position became increasingly intriguing. Throughout much of the public discussion, Prince Harry has often occupied a unique space between two worlds. Prince Harry remains the son of King Charles III, yet Prince Harry also shares a life and future with Meghan Markle outside the structure of working royal duties. As tensions reportedly escalated, many observers began wondering how Prince Harry viewed the situation behind closed doors. Did Prince Harry believe reconciliation remained possible, or was Prince Harry witnessing the gradual collapse of any remaining trust between the Sussex household and Buckingham Palace? The deeper the story progressed, the more complicated the questions became. What initially appeared to be a disagreement over privileges was now evolving into a broader examination of loyalty, influence, public image, and the future identity of the monarchy itself. And just when many believed the confrontation had reached its peak, reports within this dramatic storyline suggested that an even more controversial strategy was being prepared behind the scenes. If those reports were true, Prince William would soon face a challenge far greater than a dispute over ceremonial treatment, because the next phase of this royal conflict threatened to pull both Buckingham Palace and Meghan Markle into a battle that neither side could easily control. Before we continue, if you enjoy in-depth royal family analysis, thoughtful discussion, and carefully crafted royal documentaries, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest coverage. But as tensions continued rising on both sides of the Atlantic, another question was beginning to emerge, and it would soon become impossible to ignore. What exactly was Meghan Markle preparing to do next? And why did some observers believe it could trigger the most explosive chapter of this entire royal saga? The alleged rejection of Meghan Markle's commercial strategy did not simply create a public relations problem. According to the storyline, the consequences quickly began spreading into areas that neither Buckingham Palace nor the Sussex household could easily contain. What initially appeared to be a dispute over branding and royal symbolism was gradually transforming into a much larger battle involving credibility, legal pressure, and competing versions of the truth. And as public attention intensified on both sides of the Atlantic, a new question started to dominate the conversation. If Meghan Markle's first strategy had failed, what would Meghan Markle attempt next to regain control of the narrative? According to the account, Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, refused to interpret the growing criticism as a signal to retreat. Instead, Meghan Markle allegedly viewed the backlash as proof that the stakes had become even higher. Royal commentators often note that public perception can become a form of power in its own right, particularly when dealing with globally recognized figures. In this version of events, Meghan Markle reportedly believed that allowing Buckingham Palace to define the story uncontested would create long-term damage that could prove far more costly than any temporary controversy. But was Meghan Markle protecting a public image, or was Meghan Markle becoming trapped in an increasingly risky cycle of escalation? As those questions circulated, another development reportedly emerged behind closed doors. According to the narrative, Prince Harry became increasingly concerned about the direction of the conflict. Unlike public observers, Prince Harry would have understood firsthand the emotional and personal consequences attached to every headline, every public statement, and every new allegation. Reports within the storyline suggest that Prince Harry allegedly encouraged caution, believing that a temporary step back might prevent the situation from spiraling further. Yet if Prince Harry truly hoped to reduce tensions, why did the conflict continue accelerating rather than slowing down? The answer, according to this dramatic account, lay in Meghan Markle's determination to preserve influence at a moment when influence appeared under threat. The storyline claims that Meghan Markle began pursuing new commercial partnerships designed to strengthen the visibility of a growing lifestyle brand. More importantly, the narrative suggests that royal associations remained central to the strategy. Supporters might argue that Meghan Markle was simply leveraging a globally recognized identity that had become part of public life. Critics, however, allegedly saw something very different. Critics questioned whether the continued use of royal symbolism risked blurring the line between personal enterprise and institutional authority. That distinction suddenly became crucial because the discussion was no longer limited to public opinion. According to the storyline, questions began emerging about how potential business partners interpreted references connected to royal status. If companies believed they were entering agreements linked in some way to the prestige of the British monarchy, the implications could become far more serious than a branding dispute. Royal observers began asking a fascinating question. Where exactly does reputation end and representation begin? And who ultimately controls the value associated with royal titles once individuals step away from official royal duties? While those debates continued, Prince William, the future king, reportedly became increasingly attentive to developments unfolding in America. According to the account, Prince William viewed the situation not merely as a family disagreement, but as a matter involving the integrity of the institution itself. Throughout modern royal history, the monarchy has relied heavily upon public trust, symbolism, and carefully maintained distinctions between public service and private benefit. If those distinctions became unclear, Prince William may have believed the consequences could extend far beyond a single controversy. Could this explain why Prince William's response was reportedly becoming more assertive with each passing stage of the conflict? The storyline then introduces one of its most dramatic turning points. According to the narrative, legal teams connected to Buckingham Palace allegedly began examining commercial activities associated with Meghan Markle's ventures. The significance of this development cannot be overstated within the context of a story. Public disputes can often be managed through statements and media appearances. Legal scrutiny, however, introduces an entirely different dynamic because it shifts the conflict from perception to evidence, from interpretation to documentation. Suddenly, the battle was no longer unfolding exclusively before television cameras and newspaper headlines. It was reportedly moving into territory where facts, records, and formal challenges could carry far greater weight. For viewers following this unfolding drama, the implications became increasingly difficult to ignore. If Prince William believed institutional boundaries had been crossed, how far would Buckingham Palace be willing to go in defending those boundaries? At the same time, if Meghan Markle believed the monarchy was attempting to limit opportunities connected to her public identity, would Meghan Markle accept defeat quietly? Or would Meghan Markle search for an even more aggressive strategy capable of shifting public attention back in her favor? Adding further intrigue was the growing uncertainty surrounding Prince Harry. Every new development appeared to place Prince Harry in an increasingly uncomfortable position between loyalty to family and loyalty to marriage. Royal watchers have long debated how Prince Harry navigates those competing responsibilities, but according to the storyline, the pressure was reaching levels that neither side could easily ignore. And as the conflict expanded beyond symbolism into allegations involving business dealings and institutional authority, the stakes appeared higher than ever before. Before we continue, if you enjoy thoughtful royal family documentaries that explore the deeper dynamics behind the headlines, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss future discussions. Yet despite the legal pressure reportedly building around Meghan Markle and despite Prince William's increasingly firm stance, the most explosive chapter had not yet arrived. Because according to the storyline, a shocking claim was about to surface, one that would transform this dispute from a battle over reputation into a confrontation involving secrets, accusations, and a threat that Buckingham Palace could not afford to ignore. The reports of growing legal pressure surrounding Meghan Markle did not simply raise questions about business ventures or public image. According to this dramatic storyline, the entire conflict suddenly entered a far more dangerous phase when the dispute shifted from questions of branding and influence to allegations involving private information, internal communications, and secrets that were never intended to leave palace walls. For royal observers, this represented a dramatic escalation unlike anything that had appeared earlier in the story. Because once a conflict begins revolving around confidential information, the issue is no longer merely reputational. The issue becomes trust itself. And when trust becomes the battlefield, how can either side emerge without lasting damage? According to the narrative, Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, allegedly decided that conventional media responses would no longer be sufficient. Reports within the storyline suggest that Meghan Markle believed Buckingham Palace was systematically limiting opportunities connected to her public identity, while Prince William, the future king, reportedly viewed the situation as a challenge to the institution's authority. Those competing perceptions created the perfect conditions for a confrontation in which neither side believed compromise would serve its interests. Yet as tensions continued rising, a more unsettling question began circulating among royal commentators. What information might exist behind the scenes that the public had never seen? The storyline claims that Meghan Markle allegedly responded to growing legal pressure with a direct challenge aimed at the heart of the monarchy. Rather than focusing solely on public arguments, Meghan Markle reportedly suggested that sensitive information concerning the royal family remained within reach. Whether viewers believe such claims or not, the significance of the allegation itself immediately transformed the conversation. Suddenly, the discussion was no longer about products, branding, or ceremonial privileges. The discussion became centered on secrets, leverage, and the possibility that private royal matters could become public weapons. For Prince William, the future king, such allegations reportedly crossed an entirely different line. Throughout modern royal history, Buckingham Palace has weathered controversies, interviews, documentaries, and countless media storms. Yet institutional stability often depends on one fundamental principle. Internal discussions remain internal discussions. According to the storyline, Prince William allegedly interpreted the situation not merely as criticism, but as a direct threat to the confidentiality upon which royal operations depend. If private conversations could no longer remain private, what consequences might follow for King Charles III, Catherine, Princess of Wales, and the wider royal household? As the controversy deepened, the narrative introduces another fascinating layer. According to the account, Meghan Markle allegedly claimed to possess detailed knowledge concerning internal disagreements and previously undisclosed tensions. Such claims immediately attracted attention because the public has always been fascinated by what happens beyond official statements and carefully managed appearances. Royal watchers know that every institution contains private debates, competing perspectives, and difficult decisions. Yet how much of that reality should ever become public knowledge? And where should the boundary exist between transparency and privacy? The storyline then moves toward its most explosive allegations so far. Reports within the narrative suggest that Meghan Markle allegedly implied that information was continuing to flow from sources close to palace operations. Whether those claims contain any truth or not, the suggestion alone reportedly triggered alarm within Buckingham Palace. After all, if confidential discussions were somehow reaching outside parties, the implications would extend far beyond a personal dispute. The implications would touch the security, credibility, and operational integrity of the monarchy itself. Could Prince William afford to ignore even the possibility of such a threat? According to the story, the answer was no. Prince William reportedly concluded that the allegations required immediate attention. Rather than treating the matter as another chapter in a media feud, Prince William allegedly began viewing the situation through the lens of institutional protection. Royal commentators often note that future monarchs are judged not only by popularity, but also by their ability to defend the structures they inherit. In this narrative, Prince William appeared increasingly determined to demonstrate that no challenge involving royal security would be taken lightly. Yet as Prince William prepared a response, another question emerged. Was Buckingham Palace confronting a public relations crisis, or was Buckingham Palace confronting something much more serious? Meanwhile, Prince Harry's position reportedly became even more complicated. Throughout the storyline, Prince Harry remains caught between deeply personal loyalties that appear increasingly difficult to reconcile. On one side stands Meghan Markle, Prince Harry's wife and closest ally. On the other side stands the institution represented by King Charles III, Prince William, and Catherine, Princess of Wales. Every new allegation seemed to widen the gap between those worlds. Royal observers began wondering whether Prince Harry still believed reconciliation was possible, or whether Prince Harry was watching relationships deteriorate beyond repair. What makes this phase of the story particularly compelling is that certainty becomes increasingly difficult to find. Allegations generate counter-allegations. Claims produce denials. Public statements compete with private interpretations. And throughout the confusion, audiences are left searching for one essential answer. Who possesses the stronger position as the conflict moves forward? Meghan Markle, armed with publicity and controversy, or Prince William, backed by the authority of Buckingham Palace? Before we continue, If you enjoy thoughtful royal family documentaries that explore the deeper questions behind the headlines, remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss future discussions and exclusive royal analysis. Yet despite the allegations, the speculation, and the growing tension surrounding Meghan Markle and Buckingham Palace, the most dramatic development was still ahead. Because according to the storyline, Prince William was preparing a response that would shift the conflict away from accusations and towards something far more concrete. And if the next reports were accurate, Buckingham Palace was about to launch an investigation that could uncover whether the threat facing the monarchy was real, or whether someone had been playing a far more dangerous game than anyone initially realized. According to this dramatic storyline, the moment Prince William, the future king, reportedly decided to treat the allegations as a security issue rather than a family disagreement, the entire conflict entered a new and unpredictable chapter. Up until this point, the dispute had revolved around influence, public image, commercial activity, and competing narratives. However, once questions emerged regarding potential leaks of confidential information, Buckingham Palace allegedly shifted its focus from managing controversy to protecting the institution itself. And that change raised an important question for viewers. When a monarchy believes its internal security may be at risk, how far is it willing to go to defend itself? According to the narrative, Prince William allegedly ordered an extensive internal review designed to determine whether any confidential information was leaving royal circles without authorization. What makes this development particularly significant is that the storyline portrays Prince William not as a frustrated family member, but as a future monarch confronting what Prince William reportedly viewed as a challenge to the integrity of the royal household. Throughout history, royal institutions have survived scandals, criticism, and political pressure, yet concerns surrounding internal security have always been treated differently. Could this explain why Buckingham Palace allegedly responded with such urgency? As reports of the alleged investigation began circulating within the storyline, public fascination intensified. Royal watchers who had previously focused on Meghan Markle and Prince Harry suddenly turned their attention toward Buckingham Palace itself. Questions emerged regarding who might have access to sensitive discussions involving King Charles III, Catherine, Princess of Wales, and Prince William. More importantly, viewers began wondering whether the allegations represented genuine concerns or merely another escalation in an already bitter conflict. After all, accusations can generate headlines, but evidence determines outcomes. So where would the evidence ultimately lead? According to the account, palace officials allegedly began conducting detailed reviews of communication channels, internal procedures, and staff access to confidential meetings. Whether such measures actually occurred is impossible to verify through the storyline alone, but the narrative uses this moment to create a powerful sense of suspense. Every institution depends upon trust. Every organization relies upon individuals who safeguard information. Consequently, the mere possibility that confidential discussions could be reaching outside parties reportedly generated enormous concern. If Prince William suspected that palace confidentiality had been compromised, could Prince William afford to leave even a single question unanswered? The storyline then introduces what it presents as a dramatic breakthrough. According to the narrative, investigators allegedly discovered indications that information had been flowing through channels previously overlooked. Royal commentators within the story reportedly described the discovery as a turning point because it appeared to transform speculation into something far more tangible. Suddenly, Buckingham Palace was no longer responding to theoretical concerns. Buckingham Palace was allegedly responding to findings that demanded immediate action. Yet another question immediately emerged. If confidential information truly had been leaving palace circles, who stood to benefit most from its release? For Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, these developments reportedly created an increasingly difficult situation. According to the storyline, Meghan Markle had positioned herself as someone unwilling to retreat under pressure. However, the possibility of an investigation producing evidence changed the balance of the conflict. Public debates can often remain subjective, allowing competing interpretations to coexist. Investigations, by contrast, create the expectation that facts will eventually emerge. As viewers watch the narrative unfold, Many began asking whether Meghan Markle was prepared for what might happen if Buckingham Palace decided to take the dispute beyond media headlines and into a more formal arena. Meanwhile, Prince Harry reportedly found himself in an even more uncomfortable position. The storyline repeatedly emphasizes Prince Harry's connection to both sides of the conflict, making Prince Harry one of the most intriguing figures in the entire drama. While Prince William allegedly focused on protecting the monarchy, and Meghan Markle allegedly focused on defending personal interests, Prince Harry appeared trapped between those competing priorities. Royal observers began wondering whether Prince Harry possessed information capable of easing tensions, or whether Prince Harry was simply watching events move beyond anyone's ability to control them. The most fascinating aspect of this stage is how quickly the conflict expanded beyond the individuals at its center. What started as a dispute involving Meghan Markle and Prince William was now becoming a broader examination of loyalty, institutional resilience, and the hidden pressures operating behind royal walls. Audiences were no longer asking whether Meghan Markle or Prince William would win a public argument. Audiences were beginning to ask whether lasting damage had already been done to relationships that once seemed unbreakable. According to the storyline, Prince William allegedly reached a conclusion that would define the next phase of the conflict. Rather than keeping the matter entirely private, Prince William reportedly believed that transparency could become the strongest weapon available to Buckingham Palace. If evidence existed, Prince William allegedly intended to ensure that evidence would not remain hidden. For supporters of Prince William, such a strategy could be viewed as accountability. For critics, the move could appear dangerously confrontational. Either way, one fact became impossible to ignore. The confrontation was moving toward a decisive moment. Before we continue, if you enjoy detailed royal family documentaries that explore the deeper forces shaping royal events, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss future royal analysis and exclusive discussions. Yet even as Prince William allegedly prepared to reveal what investigators had uncovered, another mystery was quietly taking shape behind the scenes. Because according to the storyline, the next move would not come from Buckingham Palace alone. The response that followed would reportedly push Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, and Prince William into the most explosive public confrontation of the entire saga, raising questions that could no longer be contained behind palace gates. As the alleged investigation gathered momentum, the storyline suggests that Prince William, the future king, reached a decisive conclusion. According to the narrative, the dispute had moved far beyond disagreements over titles, branding, or public statements. Buckingham Palace was now reportedly confronting allegations that touched the very foundations of institutional trust. And for Prince William, that distinction mattered enormously. Royal reputations can survive criticism. Royal institutions can survive controversy. But can any institution function effectively if confidential conversations are believed to be vulnerable to outside influence? According to the account, Prince William allegedly decided that silence was no longer the most effective strategy. Throughout much of the conflict, Buckingham Palace had largely maintained its traditional approach, allowing public discussion to unfold while avoiding direct engagement with every controversy. Yet the storyline claims that the latest allegations changed that calculation entirely. If Meghan Markle's reported claims about access to private information continued spreading through public discourse, Prince William allegedly believed that a stronger response would eventually become unavoidable. What makes this phase particularly dramatic is that the narrative portrays both sides as believing they were defending something essential. According to the storyline, Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, viewed the conflict as a battle for reputation, influence, and survival in an environment where public perception shapes opportunity. Meanwhile, Prince William reportedly viewed the conflict as a battle for institutional credibility and the protection of the monarchy's future. When both sides believe they are fighting for something fundamental, is compromise still possible, or does confrontation become inevitable? The storyline then introduces what it presents as the most significant turning point of the entire saga. According to the narrative, Prince William allegedly prepared to take the dispute into the public arena in a way that would fundamentally alter its direction. Rather than allowing speculation to dominate the conversation, Prince William reportedly intended to present evidence supporting Buckingham Palace's position. Whether viewers accept the storyline's claims or not, the strategic implication remains fascinating. Public sympathy often fluctuates. Public evidence, however, has the potential to reshape an entire narrative overnight. As anticipation grew, attention spread far beyond Buckingham Palace and Montecito. Royal commentators, journalists, and audiences across Britain, America, Canada, and Australia reportedly began focusing on one central question. What exactly had Prince William discovered, and why was Buckingham Palace allegedly preparing such an aggressive response? The uncertainty surrounding that question became a powerful force in itself, because every unanswered mystery invited even more speculation. According to the account, the reported findings of the investigation allegedly strengthened Prince William's confidence. The narrative claims that Buckingham Palace believed it possessed sufficient information to challenge the allegations directly and publicly. For supporters of Prince William, this reportedly demonstrated leadership and resolve. For critics, the move raised concerns that a deeply personal family conflict was becoming increasingly institutionalized. Yet regardless of perspective, few observers could deny that the stakes had reached extraordinary levels. Meanwhile, Prince Harry reportedly faced perhaps the most difficult position of anyone involved. Throughout the storyline, Prince Harry has remained connected to both worlds, standing between Meghan Markle and the royal family while watching the divide grow wider with every new development. According to the narrative, Prince Harry's silence became almost as interesting as the allegations themselves. Royal watchers repeatedly asked the same question. What was Prince Harry thinking as the conflict escalated toward what appeared to be a decisive showdown? The story becomes even more intriguing when viewed through the lens of legacy. Prince William is not simply another senior royal. Prince William is the future king. Every major decision associated with Prince William inevitably shapes public perceptions of what a future reign might look like. Similarly, Meghan Markle is not merely a celebrity figure. Meghan Markle remains one of the most discussed and polarizing individuals connected to the modern royal family. Consequently, every development carried significance beyond the immediate dispute. The confrontation was becoming a symbolic struggle over competing visions of influence, responsibility, and public identity. According to the narrative, the climax arrived when Buckingham Palace allegedly prepared to expose information intended to counter Meghan Markle's reported claims. The storyline suggests that Prince William believed a public response would demonstrate that the monarchy would not be pressured through threats, speculation, or controversy. Whether that approach would ultimately strengthen the institution or deepen existing divisions remained an open question. But one thing seemed increasingly clear. Neither side could return to the status quo that existed before the conflict began. And perhaps that is what makes the storyline so compelling for audiences around the world. Beneath the allegations, accusations, and dramatic twists lies a deeper question about power itself. Is influence derived from public popularity, or does influence ultimately depend upon institutions that endure across generations? The storyline offers one interpretation, but viewers may reach very different conclusions. Before we finish, if you enjoy thoughtful royal family documentaries, detailed royal analysis, and long-form discussions that explore the bigger questions behind the headlines, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and join our growing community of royal watchers. Your support helps us continue bringing you these in-depth stories and conversations. As this dramatic narrative reaches its conclusion, the central question remains remarkably unresolved. According to one interpretation, Meghan Markle's determination reflected a refusal to surrender identity and influence in the face of mounting pressure. According to another interpretation, Prince William's actions reflected a future monarch's determination to protect the integrity of the institution he is destined to lead. So what do you think? Do you believe the storyline ultimately reflects a struggle over reputation and public image, or does it reveal a much deeper conflict involving loyalty, duty, and the future direction of the monarchy itself? And perhaps most importantly, if a dispute reaches the point where trust completely disappears, can reconciliation ever truly happen, or does every new battle simply make the divide impossible to repair? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We would love to hear your perspective on this fascinating royal debate, and we look forward to continuing the conversation in our next video.